Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Friday, July 5th, 2024. It is the day of Venus, the day of love. We have a new moon today, finally. It feels like there's been just forever since the full moon, but we're finally made it to the new moon. We are in Cancer season, the Celtic tree month of oak, woodpecker season, Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde, and Pluto retrograde. So our new moon is, of course, in the sign of Cancer this month. For that, think about sitting with your emotions, listening to your intuition, reclaiming your energy. It is a lot more introverted and drawing energy in and healing than perhaps new moons and other signs are. And I also found you this tarot spread because I love doing divination on the new moon. It's a 6-card spread. The first card asks the question, how can I best nurture the feminine and masculine energies that make me who I am? So your projective and receptive energies there. The second card is, how can I best support my family and those dear to me? The third card is, where in my life should I apply love unconditionally? Fourth card, what unresolved matters from the past need to resurface and deal with, because there's bound to be some, because we've also got 3 retrogrades going on right now. So expect to find something to appear in that slot. Then the 5th card is, what areas of my life do I need to go with the flow? And then the final and 6th card is, how can I improve my emotional intelligence? These are very Cancerian themes. And of course, we have until, let's see, I think it's 21st or 20th, where we switch into Leo. But we have a little bit of time to really put these things into practice and work with this energy before we move out of the sign of Cancer in the sun. And of course, I think we move out of the sign of Cancer for the moon tomorrow. So set these intentions right now and then make use of the solar energy going forward to work on anything that this spread might be bringing to your attention. And of course, this isn't the only spread you might use, and you might not choose to do divination at all, but I like to bring things to your awareness just in case you would care to incorporate them. Now for the details of the astrology. The sun, of course, is in Cancer, cardinal water representing intuition. The moon is 4th quarter Cancer, cardinal water representing sensitivity. And then at 5:57 p.m. Central Time, it is the new moon. So definitely, if you're wanting to wait until it gets dark in order to do your ritual, everything will be exactly where it should be. Then with Mercury, it is in Leo, fixed fire, representing ideals. Venus is in Cancer, cardinal water, representing frugality. Mars is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing purpose. Jupiter is in Gemini, mutable air, representing questing. Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, meaning to redefine dreams. Uranus is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing renovation. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, signifying a spiritual awakening. And Pluto is retrograding in Aquarius, fixed air, meaning that we need to examine our intention. And again, as a reminder for the retrogrades, for Saturn retrograde, reevaluate goals, reconsider commitments, reclaim your authority. And then for the Neptune retrograde, reimagine your dreams, reclaim a sense of mystery, reclaim faith and magic. And for the Pluto retrograde, reclaim your ability to regenerate, reconsider what deserves your energy, and release attachments that do not serve. Now, for that new moon, think beginnings, renewal, planting seeds. You are setting the tone for the cycle up until the full moon, where you are going to start reaping some of what you have sown now. And then you will have that downward turning in of energy from the full moon back into the next new moon. So this is the time to kick into high gear and make sure you know what it is you are wanting to accomplish. Now for that Cancer moon, this will be very familiar because we've covered very similar themes with all of this. The do's are: create a nurturing atmosphere, prioritize family bonds, stock up your pantry, objective tasks, and hyper emotionalism. So as this is occurring on the day of Venus, ask yourself the question, do any of your relationships need a reset? The new moon in Cancer is a good time to do that. And with the influence of Venus in Cancer, that will give you the most bang for your energy output. Because remember, Cancer in Venus represents frugality. So this is going to make sure that you are getting something done, but you're not necessarily draining yourself of your resources. And as the summer heat tends to drain a lot of people, being more careful about your energy output and making sure it gets replenished properly, and that's probably going to be of a higher priority than what it is ordinarily. So definitely don't skip out on that. Now, for today's tarot card, we have the Page of Pentacles. Its keywords are application, study, scholarship, reflection, news, messages, delivery, rule, and management. And then for the Suit of Pentacles, think earth element, feminine energy, receptive energy, material action. And for pages, think youth and growth. And of course, with any of the court cards, be on the lookout for someone in your life who kind of meets the criteria for the spirit of this particular card. It'd be someone probably on the younger side. I would say upper teens at the outside edge of that, but someone who might be embodying this, have their focus in this direction. They might have something that you need to take heed of. There might be requiring help for you in some way. Just be aware of that possibility. Obviously, that's not how this energy will manifest for everyone. For many others, it could simply be about get your nose back in those books, or there is something in your studies that you read, you took for granted, but now you really need to look a little bit deeper onto it. Because remember, with our spiritual studies, it isn't simply a matter of taking in information or even being able to regurgitate that information upon command. It's about digesting it. It's about understanding. It's about gleaning wisdom, and that's much harder, and that takes much longer. And the people who have ultra good memories, who can just, spit out facts about this and that, they might look very impressive, but I have found it very difficult to have deeper conversations with them when we're talking in terms of principle. Now, the people who are perhaps not as, on the ball with, knowing all of their facts and figures of paganism, but who have really put in the meditation work and who have really put in a lot of practical application in their lives, those are the people with whom I've really learned a great deal. They have extraordinary insights sometimes, and that I have been able to connect more dots through my conversations with people like that than I have with any of the people who are essentially memory retention and not much else. So that's something to think about, particularly if you find yourself more so you're very good at remembering. You comprehend what you read right away. You're able to articulate it pretty well, but you're not really, you might feel like you're still in the shallows and that there's a lack of depth. This might be your nag to, time to go a bit deeper. Start digging into that soil and seeing what you can actually come up with there, because not every answer is going to be found in the books. And in fact, there's a lot of answers we need that we are not going to find in books. It's only going to come out of the product of our meditations. Now for our Celtic triad of the day. It reads 3 good things good in a miser's eyes: a brass-handled knife, much-patched shoes, and defaming the generous. So the false economy, perhaps of a cheap material or something that looks flashy, but it's glittering gold, but it isn't gold the way brass is. It's going after those things when perhaps a higher quality approach or higher quality material is really required to get the job done. That's something that someone who's miserly in their soul might go to. And then with the much patched shoes, I mean, thrift is all very well. Thrift can be very admirable, but it can also be taken to absolutely ridiculous lengths. There comes a point in which, a material object, you have gotten your money's worth out of it. It has performed its duty to you to its very last breath, and now it needs to be buried. It needs to be retired, and not allowing oneself to do that. I think that creates the poverty mentality of it's not, because at that point it's about squeezing every last thing out of something rather than just getting good value for money. And it's I don't know, just there's something that's very off-putting about that mindset. And then defaming the generous. People who are too tight-fisted with their money, they fail to see the virtue in generosity. They think it's a waste. They don't see what the point of that is. They don't see the love that can be expressed through generosity. They don't understand how it can really restore people's faith that, not everyone is just out for what they can get, and that the world is cold, and, it's dog eat dog and all of these other things. They fail to see the virtue of kindness. I mean, what a way to be. What a way to be. Now, on a happier note, today's magical intention today is honor. I chose that particular intention for today because the world is very much lacking in honor. For this, we have the color rose. The plant is the laurel. Laurels, of course, were used to be used for laurel crowns to signify victories in a contest. The animal is the raven. And the crystal is the red zircon. Honor is, as I said before, is in very, very short supply. And if it is going to be restored, particularly as a cultural norm, then we must lead the way in practicing it every day, whether we feel like it or not. We must be honorable people. We must be honorable towards those who are honorable towards us. And it has to be obvious enough in our behavior and conduct and how we have different outcomes from people who do not practice this for other people to take notice and say, oh, that mode of being just might be better than than what I'm accustomed to. So this is inspirational, or at least it has potential to be. Now for our practice, it is Friday, so we honor love deities. You might work on your third eye chakra, contemplate what aspect of your Venus sign you most resonate with, read lore about Selkies, and of course, it's a new moon, so you have a new moon ritual to do. At least my brothers and sisters in the craft do. And last of all, for today, we have our journal prompt. The new moon is time for fresh starts and putting those magical intentions into action. So what new start does your heart need? This is a Cancer new moon, so everything is coming back to that emotional center. Also, if in the course of your ritual, if you also decide to work on your heart chakra, that might be a very productive way to spend the evening. So just an additional suggestion to toss out there. And that is what I have for you all today. Come back tomorrow for the next edition. Let me know what you thought of this one in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.